Hi everyone. I know that some of you may know about my physical disability where I was born without any hands, that my hands look like this, and also I wear two below-knee artificial legs. I've been accepted for my physical disability now, but there's something I've been keeping under wraps for a long time now, and I think now is the right time to come out and talk about my OCD. I've had this for a very, very, very long time, and I want to tell you my story for the first time ever on a video on LinkedIn. So this is a first. I've never done a video on LinkedIn. I've done many posts, and I've also never told my story about my OCD. But the reason I'm doing this now is because I've been inspired by my organisation, TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, and I've been inspired by many people around me who've been telling their stories about their own mental health issues. So here goes. Here's my story about my OCD. So it all started one day at school around the age of 14. We were in a history lesson discussing Henry VIII. And I don't know why, but I put my hand up and I asked the teacher, where were all the people on the planet from that era now? She replied, they've all passed away. She said, eventually we all die. That was truly a massive shock to me then. I relied on my parents and my family immensely for emotional and physical support back then. But I realised at that point in that history lesson that everyone dies. And that meant that I would die. And probably my parents would die before me. It really disturbed me. Over the next few months, I slowly started to worry about bumping into things like doors and how I'd walk on the floor, really silly things. And I felt that if I didn't apologise to these inanimate objects, rub these things better, that my mum would die. The situation got worse and worse, and by the age of 16, if I walked to the shops from school at lunchtime and I didn't put a foot right on the pavement, I'd stop and get the walking correct until my mind was satisfied. And then this problem spread to my home, and at its worst, I'd walk away from one room to another, back to the room, back to the other, until my mind was happy. And I could do this a few hundred times a day. Can you imagine how tired I would get? All because I felt that if I did do this, that my mum would pass away. I did all this OCD ritualistic behaviour to protect my parents in my mind. One day before an exam, GCSE exam in 1992, I went to and from my bedroom to the hallway for around 5 hours. I was so tired and I had an exam in the morning. That was the day I said, God, that's me done. I'm not going to do the OCD behaviour anymore. Take my mum if you have to. And from that day on, I got better and better. And each day that my mum lived, despite my not going through these rituals, I felt safer and better. And as I said, that was in 1992. Ever since then, I do get twinges of OCD. I still can't drive a certain route home. Or my dad or wife, I'd think in my mind, would die. I know it sounds so silly, but I think this is what mental health is all about. However, I know that my loved ones don't depend on my OCD rituals, and my loved ones' lives and the length of their life don't depend on my OCD rituals. I still haven't got the mindset to overcome it, but I'm 99% better than I was. I believe OCD starts with a trigger, some sort of fear, like it did for me when I was 16 or 14 in that history lesson. I thank God that I have a strong mind, I'm resilient. However, that 1% of OCD that I still have really causes me distress and inconvenience, and I do need to battle it daily. I think only a sufferer can understand OCD and live with it and overcome it, and I really hope that my story helps you. The reason I've done this video in one take is to show people that mistakes can happen. You can overcome this. I wanted to do a perfect video. It's not going to be perfect. I hope posting this on LinkedIn, it does get shared and liked, and that many, many, many people get inspired from my story. And if you do like it, please comment, and I'll do a lot more stories about how I live my day-to-day life as a physically disabled person. Thanks, guys. See you soon. God bless.